I read something recently that really kind of hit home inside my brain. And I wonder how we as individuals in this country have ever lost sight of this fact. I guess it is a fact. We are private citizens in this country. At least we're entitled to be private citizens. The government should know absolutely nothing about us. The government, however, are public officials. In most cases, they're elected. Some are hired through the people that we elect. But they are members of public office. And we should know every minutia of detail when it comes to people that serve in the public sector. Unfortunately, everything is exactly the opposite. We know absolutely nothing about what goes on with the government and with the public servants. And the government knows everything about you and I. You know, folks, that's something that we really need to think about. It's something that warrants a serious discussion. It's something that warrants change in the way things are. Because our forefathers, when they set up this government, they didn't set it up to be this secretive spy network that combs through reams and reams of data, reams and reams of information, trying to get every last little bit of incriminating evidence against you. It's troubling. It's very troubling, to have to think about these types of things. It's even more troubling how 90% of us are just being blindly led to the slaughter. Financially, freedom, the list just goes on and on and on about our money is being taken in the form of taxes. It's being utilized to promote and instigate wars all over the world. Then once those wars start, our money that we pay in taxes is being utilized under the disguise of aid to these nations that are at war, all in an orchestrated plan to force control upon these nations. When somebody's indebted to you, it's very difficult for them to speak their opinion. When somebody's indebted to you, it's easier for you to manipulate them. And that's exactly what's taking place all over the world. It's exactly why our forefathers never wanted a centralized banking system. If you ever read the book, The Creature from Jekyll Island, when in the early, I think it was late 1800s, early 1900s, a very prominent senator and some rich people conspired to create the Federal Reserve System. You know, the reason that the Pilgrims left Great Britain in search of a new world was because Great Britain had created a Federal Reserve System. And these patriots thought that it was unlawful for government or a private individual to control banking. You know, the thing is banks is where we put our money. We should be in control of the bank. And it's not that way. It's not that way at all. You know, none of us has a say-so when it comes to how a bank invests our money, how a bank handles our money. I remember one time contacting my bank and saying, hey, listen, you know, I walked into the bank. I needed $5,000 or $6,000 to purchase a car. And they told me, oh, well, we don't have that kind of money on hand. You have to make arrangements. Well, listen, I knew I had the money in my account. Why do I need to make arrangements to get what's mine? It's my money. And the thing is most people don't realize that. You know, you have $100,000, $200,000 in the bank. That doesn't mean you have access to that money. And if that bank becomes insolvent, supposedly it's federally insured. But have you ever tried to get the federal government to do anything in your favor? It becomes horribly difficult. I go back to my original statement. We are private citizens. Our lives should be private. We live in a free society. We need to start having conversations, and we need to start putting politicians in place that ensure that freedom for you and I. We also need transparency in the government. We need to know what these people are up to, and we don't.